we're going around the floor, and every once in a while, you just run across someone and you say, "Oh my gosh, we've got to talk to you." We could not be more excited to have. No,
Janardana?
I'm not even going to try. Okay, tell us your name again. I'm sorry.
Janardana Krishna Das.
That's it. If I was going to say it, that's exactly how I would have said it. So, thank you so much for coming on the show today.
Thank you for having me. It was, I had to take the opportunity when you gave it.
Awesome.
That's great.
So, you are.
Ooh, that was loud.
That was very loud. I hope you didn't. It didn't come across. You are a part of the Hare Krishna.
Yes.
Okay. So there's a lot of misconceptions about what you do and who you are and what you believe in. So in a 200-word or less
Nutshell.
synopsis, what is it that Hare Krishnas do?
Yes. So Hare Krishna is a ancient movement which is meant to re-spiritualize and help uplift everybody, no matter which background they're from, which gender they are, which religion they practice.
Mhm.
But it's really an amazing process which is helping us reconnect with our real self, meaning the soul, the spiritual energy that's inside of the body, and also helping us reestablish our connection with God. It's meaning to give people, or I guess elevate people back to their normal God consciousness.
So, do you have people of all variety of religious practices involved?
Yes, I mean if you look, a couple of our leaders, they go to a lot of these interfaith conferences, and we have a lot of great leaders, great speakers. The founder of our movement, Srila Prabhupada, he would actually speak a lot to different bishops, different leaders of the churches, different leaders of religious organizations, and they would have these important conversations, not of how can I establish what I believe as better than yours, but how can we work together in helping everybody come to this higher level of consciousness.
Now, Krishna is well known in Hindu traditions, right?
Yes.
The god Krishna. So I assume that Hare Krishna has something to do with the following of that god's teachings. Is that correct?
Yes, so that's kind of why I brought this book with me, this Bhagavad Gita.
Yes.
As it is, this is Krishna's teachings to Arjuna, and it makes the main philosophy for the Hare Krishna movement. And also, if you look across Eastern cultures and traditions, they've all adopted the principles of Bhagavad Gita. And if you actually look, the Bhagavad Gita, it even predates the establishment of Hinduism or Buddhism. It's why we can say it's for everybody. It wasn't one Hindu god speaking to another Hindu person about how he can be Hindu, but it was an amazing conversation that took place between Krishna and Arjuna, not just for the benefit of Arjuna, but for the benefit of the whole world.
Right. And it's ironic because from what I know, what little I know about the Hare Krishna, you really promote love and self-respect and things like that. And the Bhagavad Gita takes place during a war, right? And that's so it's ironic that the message of love is coming through from the battlefield, really. And when I read it, it was not at all what I expected. It was very cool.
But where is it more needed?
No, absolutely. No, absolutely.
Exactly.
Yeah. And in fact, one would say we are in the battlefield right now. So now's when we really need you. So
True.
thank you for
And
what
I
you're doing.
mean, that's like why these principles, they're able to transcend just this it isn't just like you can see, oh, Arjuna is a warrior, and Krishna is encouraging him to fight. You know, I'm just like a electrician, or I'm just like a everyday guy. I'm like a teacher. How does this apply to me? But it's like you were saying, you know, it isn't that we're literally going out to war, but a lot of times we're having internal battles, especially within our own mind. And that's Krishna really gets to that point really early on in the Bhagavad Gita, where he really starts to talk a lot about the mind, talk a lot about um, how your mind can be your best friend or your worst enemy. It just depends on how you use it.
Right.
So it really starts off as like this broad spectrum, you know, reality, but it gets deep really, really quick.
So I have a question that I've always wondered. I have a feeling a lot of people wonder this as well. We can always pick you out of a crowd because of what you wear, your hair. What is the meaning behind how you present yourselves?
A lot of it has to do with demonstrating a lifestyle of simple living and high thinking, right? So a lot of our distinguishing, I guess, presentation, which you're talking about, is one, the shaved head with the ponytail in the back.
Little tail, yeah.
Mine's grown out a little longer because I've been on the road for like 3 weeks.
Oh, wow.
So yeah, I haven't shaved in about 3 weeks. And then the tilak, or the clay markings that are most visibly seen on the forehead, but we also put on our chest, our arms, and the back. And then the orange saffron robes. So the shaved head is really meant to, well, one, it's for cleanliness, because as you probably know, when you have a lot of hair, it gets everywhere.
Yes, I know.
Like,
Boy, do we know.
like, before I shaved my head, I had long hair like down past my shoulders. And when I would clean my room, I would just be like, why is there so much hair everywhere? Right. So one, it's for cleanliness. And two, it's to demonstrate detachment.
Oh.
So there's two ways which you can visibly express detachment, especially in the form of hair. One, you can just shave it off and be like, yeah, I don't really care about this. Or two, you can just let it grow, however it goes. But for us, it's recommended that, you know, since we go amongst society a lot and we don't just live in caves, that this is a more reasonable presentation, which also follows these principles. And then this tilak, or this clay, it's meant for purification of the body, for protection of the body, and also purification of the consciousness.
Oh.
So it's actually from holy rivers in India. And when you put it on, you recite different mantras in which you're praying for purification and protection. It's not something that we say that everybody has to do at all times, but at least for the tradition of monks, it's a general practice if you look across a lot of different schools. And also these specific markings, it identifies which tradition that you're from. So like a lot of common markings you can see, like the Shaivites, for example, they put the 3 lines across their head with these ashes from their sacrifices. So that also has a deeper meaning, but traditionally in society, you would be able to see exactly who somebody is just by looking at them. So everybody would be, like, you could even say, this is like the milkman, based off like what he's wearing, what he's doing, and different markings. So similar different schools of philosophy. Traditionally, you would be able to see, like this is a Shaivite, this is a Vedantist, this is a Mayavadi. So this Hare Krishnas were identified with these markings.
So it's nice to see at least that even though you are practicing the Hare Krishna lifestyle, you still carry a cell phone. So that's you don't have to give everything up, right?
Yeah. I mean, cell phone I sort of have to have with my, because traditionally, at least monks, they lived in like monasteries up in the mountains. They lived in caves. And because people were more spiritual, people had more of a connection with their spiritual life. They would specifically go to these places for spiritual upliftment and spiritual realization and for guidance also. But nowadays, because society is a lot more materialistic, it's sort of up to us to go out and encourage that from people.
Right. So is that, people say that when they see the Hare Krishna somewhere, they walk the other way because they're afraid that they're going to be recruited, right? They're going to be hit over the head with, you got to be. So is that a realistic worry? Are you here to convert us, or are you here to help us learn how to live?
So even if you look traditionally throughout all societies and all cultures, the percentage of the population that actually becomes monks, it's very, very little. It's very, very small. Maybe even less than 1%, even in the most saturated societies. So we understand that this lifestyle, it's beneficial if you can do it, but if it's against your nature, then it's actually just going to be like swimming up against a current your whole life. So it isn't like we're saying either you become a monk, you shave your head, you dress like this, otherwise I don't want to talk to you.
Right.
But it's a practical process that anybody can apply. I mean, just going back to Krishna and Arjuna. Arjuna even says in the Bhagavad Gita, like, oh, instead of fighting, I'm just going to go to the forest. I'm just going to meditate. I'm going to become a monk. And Krishna tells him, don't do that, because it's his duty as a warrior to fight.
Right.
So while we do recommend, if people have the capacity, if people have the inclination, it's nice to even spend some time living in a monastery, living the monk lifestyle, just to sort of establish like a really strong foundation for your wherever you decide to go further in life, whether you stay a monk or whether you go pursue other things. But even if people don't spend that time, anybody can read these books. Anybody can chant Hare Krishna. Like even a little child, they can chant Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Anybody can chant. And you can chant at any time. You can chant at any place. You can chant in any sort of circumstance. So here, and where we're seeing mostly, at least myself, I travel a lot to college campuses. I go on the streets, basically anywhere. And my main purpose is to give people access to the knowledge and the information. Because we see that most people in society, it's like almost like they're in like a dark well. And when you're in a well, a lot of times, you know, it might not seem like your situation is so dangerous, but the biggest problem is that out of your own power, you can't really get out. But the best way to get out is if someone throws you down a rope. But it's still up to you to hold on to that rope and make your way out. So we aren't, you know, forcing people to follow what we do, or we aren't saying that you have to become a monk or you have to do this, you have to do that. But we're trying to give everybody at least the opportunity to explore this philosophy, to explore this practice, and to try it out for themselves. Because we don't just say, you know, do what I say because it's what I'm telling you, and just believe it because it's what I say. But we're inviting, you know, you might not have faith in what I'm saying, so try it out for yourself and see how it works for you.
Right.
It's fantastic.
How did you get involved with it?
Good question. So my parents, they weren't particularly pushing me towards one religion growing up. So I didn't have a super strong basis anywhere. You know, if my friends were going to church, I would go to church. If my friends were going to the mosque, I'd be like, I'll come. Or if they were going to a temple, I thought that was pretty cool. But I was more interested in playing sports, in watching movies and hanging out with my friends.
Mhm.
But specifically when I was in college, I came to like the practical realization where I didn't want to see myself the same place that my peers were going. Basically, I saw that the route of getting a job, making money, having a house, having a car, that in and of itself wasn't going to make me happy. And not only that, but most people, they were so dissatisfied and so like drained by material life that they couldn't help others also.
Yeah.
So I was like, I've already dedicated my time in college to learning and to studying something. So the most important thing that I can do is study the thing that'll be most important for me, and then learn something that I can then share with others. So I started reading philosophies, I started studying different religions and cultures. And a lot of what I would do is I would just talk to people that knew more than I did, and that I felt like I could gain something from this person. So when I read books like Bhagavad Gita and the other books by A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Prabhupada, it made the most practical sense. And I saw that it didn't contradict any of the other teachings of great teachers or prophets that I saw, but it gave me the most tangible information. And I saw that it had a really practical process that I could apply to and share with others. It wasn't just something that was theoretical. It was something very practical, very tangible, and I experienced it for myself. So when I graduated college, I went to college on a scholarship. So I graduated with no debt, with no material things tying me down. So I was like, you know, I think living as a monk would be cool. If I don't do it now, I'm never going to do it, ever.
Yeah.
Because, I mean, maybe when I'm like 60, 70, but who even knows if I'll live that long, right? So I was like, yeah, if I have the chance now, might as well do it. And I've been living this monk lifestyle for about 2.5 years now. And yeah, I think it's the best decision that I could have made.
So it's your path for sure then.
Yeah, I mean, I can't say for sure or something that's definitive. A lot of monks, even in the Hare Krishna tradition, they live this sort of lifestyle for about anywhere between like 4 to 10 years. And about 99% of them, they end up getting married, having a family. But it's this initial training that's really important. In fact, in traditional society, everybody would live as a monk from the age of 5 till 25. Because, I mean, just like now we go to school basically from an hour 5 till 25. But they would learn so many different things, and they would get like a spiritual education. Right? So it wasn't like later on in life you were seeing like middle-aged people becoming monks like you see now. But everybody already had that spiritual foundation growing up, and then they could then choose whether to stay with that lifestyle, which only a small amount, maybe like 1% of people did, or they could choose to go out and pursue what you could consider to be a normal life, but it wasn't normal because they had that special mindset and that special training where they could see the world through a spiritual lens. So yeah, I mean, these teachings of Krishna and Bhagavad Gita and this chanting of Hare Krishna and this mindset and this elevation of consciousness that I'm working towards, that'll last with me for my whole life. But I hope I'll be able to continue with this monk lifestyle. But if I find myself that it's just fighting my nature, then it's not something that I have to stick with.
Okay.
That's fantastic.
So what do you think, Karen?
I think it's too late for you.
Dang it.
I think that he would look good in orange.
Yeah. As a matter of fact, I do.
And he's already losing most of it up here anyway.
Oh, that's fighting words, son.
I'm joking. All
right. Well, if someone was interested in learning how to get involved in lifestyle, how can someone find out, like, if it's for them or not?
Yeah, I mean, a lot of people, they see Hare Krishnas just walking down the street. Maybe not as much as they used to back in the day, but I'm still out here doing my thing.
You're
The guys in
representing.
orange.
So if you see any of us, you can always talk to us. You can also read Bhagavad Gita.
Right.
Anybody can read it. You can. A lot of local libraries have it. You can get it online. You can also get the books from us too.
Yeah. And there's actually a bunch of books out there that help you to interpret the Bhagavad Gita. So it gives you the text and then an interpretation of it. Because when I first read the Bhagavad Gita, I was like, huh? Right? So when I read one that had the interpretation, it helped me to kind of put it in perspective. Yeah. And I went, oh, okay. And it does. A lot of Hindu thought processes really resonate with me. So I just wasn't sure I'd look good in orange.
Yeah, we highly recommend people read this Bhagavad Gita as it is, because it has the original Sanskrit text. Each word has a direct word by word meaning. There's an overall English translation, and then for each of the texts, there's like a detailed explanation, which isn't just coming from the thought of one person, but A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Prabhupada, who compiled this Bhagavad Gita, when he was writing the commentaries, he would have the commentaries of 10 to 12 other teachers, which he would then compile. He would add his own realization, and then that's what created what are called these Bhaktivedanta purports, which really gives you access to a lot of people's detailed realization that have spent their life studying this knowledge.
Gotcha.
Wow.
That's very cool. So Bhagavad Gita as it is. Okay. Can you find it on Amazon?
Yeah.
Perfect. There you go.
You
Just
can,
go to Amazon.com and grab that book.
You can even find it free online also, if you like to read online, but we recommend people read the physical copies because it's better for the mind, it's better for the eyes.
Yes.
And there's an energy transfer, I think, in the book, the physical book, that you don't get from an online publication.
And you can read it in the bathtub without getting electrocuted if you drop it.
Exactly.
That's a very good point. Thank you. I'm glad you mentioned the bathtub, because I thought we were going somewhere else with that one. Yeah.
Anyways.
but yeah, and you can also look up online, and any major city, at least if you're in North America, we have temples in most of these major cities. Like here in I guess we're in Virginia, right?
We are, yeah.
We're so close to so many different places.
Yeah, that's true.
Hard to tell sometimes, but yeah. So in Washington D.C., in that Maryland area, we have a temple. Here in Philadelphia, there's one. In West Virginia, there's one, and in most major cities all across the country, we have these centers, which are sort of like oases or like places where anybody can come and learn more. They can get spiritual practice. They can get spiritual guidance. Like every day we do meditation. We have classes on all of these books. So anybody can come at any time. We also have food for everybody that comes, free vegetarian food.
Oh.
So yeah, it's
you just up the ante right there, my son.
Yeah, you can and it's spiritual food also, so it's uplifting for the consciousness.
Oh, wonderful.
Well, so the best thing about this, in getting to know you, is that you seem just like a normal, regular dude, right? Who's just practicing this lifestyle. When a lot of people think of Hare Krishnas, they think, oh, these guys are way out there or whatever. You're a very personable, educated, just a regular dude. So there's nothing to be afraid of. Come up, say hello. He's a very nice guy. So
yeah. A lot of college students that I talk to, I often tell them like, yeah, just a couple years ago, I was literally just like you.
Right.
Yeah.
So I like know exactly where
You
you're
can relate.
coming from. I'm not some like guy that just grew up in like a mountain. And, like, this is like my first time seeing civilization. I'm like shocked, But I'm in this human body just like you are, and I've had similar experiences to what you're having. So yeah, we aren't scary people,
right.
Hopefully, at least.
Yeah. No, you seem very, very normal to me. So that's perfect. Like so. If you, again, I'll mention it, if you are in the DC area, you want to come out to Spirit Fest USA, he's here. Come say hello to him. It's in the Dulles Expo Center in Chantilly. It is really, really a cool show. It is really starting to get hopping. So now's your chance. We'll be here today and tomorrow. Love for you to come say hello. Come say hello to him. Come say hello to everybody. But most of all, come say hello to me, because I'm the one who invited you, not her.
Oh, wow. I'm going to be shopping, so I'm not even going to.
right.
So you are listening to the Skeptic Metaphysicians, and you're watching it on newrealitytv.com.
Hey, thanks so much for being on the show.
Yeah,
We appreciate it.
Thank you guys for having me.
We now return you to the regularly scheduled program already in progress. Thanks for joining us. Tech person. Sorry, our tech person was busy. See ya.